Howdy toddy, Rebel fans, and welcome back to part 5, the final part of a special solo edition of the Rebel Nation conversation about the Masters Tournament. I am your Umrebelfan69, and as stated, this is the 5th and final part of a 5-part solo edition. I hope you have enjoyed the other 4 parts. To recap, they were on the 1996, the 2010, 1995, and the 2019 Masters. But if you have not watched those parts, I do recommend going back and watching those. Again, they're right here on our YouTube channel. youtube.com/@the-RN-Convo. I'm quite sure many of you have already guessed which year would be my favorite. But for those that did not guess it, I have got to go with the 1986 Masters win by the Golden Bear, Mr. Jack Nicklaus himself. Jack had won this tournament 5 times before, in 1963, 65, 66, 72, and 75. But had not won in 11 years. While he was the most certainly a Masters legend, he was not given much chance to compete for the championship that week. My favorite Masters tournament of all time. I mean, it'll always go down as that tournament is my favorite, as if there was any doubt whatsoever, though. Jack Nicklaus is always my favorite golfer of all time. And in the spring of 1986, I was a 17-year-old boy and just had always been a fan of this tournament and the man that by the end of this week would stand alone on top of the lore that is the Masters Tournament. Day 1 would see a 2-way tie at 4 under between Ken Green and Billy Kratzer. Ironically, the eventual champion Jack Nicklaus would shoot his worst round of the tournament, a 2 over 74. And he would not be on the first page of the leaderboard. Day 2 would find Seve Ballesteros on top of the leaderboard. He shot a 4 under 68 and was 5 under for the tournament, 1 shot clear of Billy Kratzer. Nicklaus would rebound from his 2 over the day before to shoot a 1 under 71. This had him at a tournament total of +1, and that was 4 shots under the cut line of +5. So that meant the Golden Bear, Jack Nicklaus, would be around for the weekend. Day 3, Saturday, moving day at the Masters. By the end of the day, Australian Greg Norman would find himself sitting on top of the leaderboard at -6 for the tournament. For the first time in the tournament, though, Jack Nicklaus would be on the first page of the leaderboard, being in a 7-way tie for 9th place at 2 under par. Nicklaus having shot a 3 under 69 on moving day, placing himself with the green jacket in sight. The final round of the greatest Masters ever played on April 13th, 1986. Final round of this match has borne so many images that stay with us today. I can still see Nicklaus in that yellow shirt, walking in that birdie putt on 17 while Vern Lunk was exclaiming, "Yes, sir," as it fell. These memories, as I said, images, will live on in Masters history forever. Nicklaus would go out in 35, -1 for the day, and -3 for the tournament. And when he made that turn, he was still tied for 9th. The 9th hole, though, would mark the start of a 3-hole stretch of birdies. He would birdie the 9th, 10th, and 11th. And the roars that could be heard from the beginning of Amen Corner were all too well known to the Augusta patrons. They all were known to be Jack roars. He would make a bogey on the 12th hole. A short par 3, but one that is very difficult to judge the wind on because of where it lays, down into that kind of the hole between the 11th green and the 13th tee. It has been a pivotal hole on the course for many golfers, and for a par 3, this one hole that every golfer would gladly accept a 3 on at the start of the tournament. You tell them you're going to make a 3 here every day, and they'd take that score every single time. On this hole, Jack would pull his 7-iron. He would pull his 7-iron approach long and to the left. His chip came up to be about 5 or 6 feet away, and his par putt would hit a spike mark and go offline. Jack later said that bogey on the Golden Bell was the best thing that ever happened to him the whole tournament. It served as a wake-up call. Jack would then head off the 12th and up to the tee box for Azalea, the 13th hole at Augusta National. He would make birdie, putting him back at -5 for the tournament and 4 shots behind Seve Ballesteros at -9. After a par at the 14th, Jack would hit a perfect tee shot on the 15th at the hole known as Firethorn. He had approximately 202 yards to the stick, and he has been known to have asked his caddy, who was his son, Jackie, how far do you think a 3 would go here? He was not talking about a 3-iron. In fact, he would hit a 4-iron to about 12 foot. He would drain that eagle putt and move to 7 under par for the tournament, only 1 shot behind Seve, as he had taken a bogey on the 15th. Who would take a bogey on the 15th. And at that time, he was in a 2-way tie with Tom Kite at -8. On to Redbud. The par 3 16th hole at Augusta. Jack hits his approach to within 3 foot and makes the birdie putt. Moves him to -8. And in a 4-way tie with Tom Kite, Greg Norman, and Seve Ballesteros. To the 17th hole known as Nandina. Jack hits his tee shot left into the gallery. While behind him, Seve is on his way to making bogey at 15, as I said earlier. Jack hits his 125-yard approach shot to 18 feet left of the hole, and he is pin high. He read the putt for quite a while, but at the last moment thought that at the end of this putt that it would turn slightly towards Rays Creek. He struck the putt, and it went into the hole, and Jack walked it in. Putter raised. And Vern Lundquist, as I said earlier, Vern Lundquist would be exclaiming, "Yes, sir!" as it rolled into the hole. With Seve making bogey at 15, the Golden Bear, Jack Nicklaus, at the age of 46, is now in sole possession of the final round lead at the Masters. The 18th hole at Augusta National Golf Club, known only as Holly. We've all seen this tee shot every time watching it. It's just a great picture. It's through this tight little chute. It's got to go probably 100 yards in that tight chute before the hole opens up at the top of the hill. And Jack hits another near perfect tee shot. Center of the fairway. He has 185 yards second, and he hits the green, but it doesn't make it all the way up to the upper tier. It rolls back down to the lower plateau of the green, some 50 feet away from the hole. And normally, on a lot of Sunday rounds, where his ball ended up, he would have probably had a 5-foot putt to that pin. But on this Sunday, they put it up on the upper level. Jack being Jack makes a wonderful first putt that dang near goes in. It come up just basically 6 inches short, and guys, it was dead center cut. If it would have had that extra 6 inches of roll, it would have went in for another birdie. He walks up and he marks, allowing his playing partner, Sandy Lyle, to putt without the gallery's loud roars. Jack then goes up, replaces his ball, taps in for his par, and of course, just the crowd goes crazy wild. He's at -9 and in sole possession of the lead. He walks off the 18th green with his arm around his son, Jackie, serving as his caddy. He was just 6 under. Excuse me, I'm losing my mind here. He had just shot 6 under 30 for the second 9 and a final round of 65, giving him a tournament total of 279, 9 under par. Now, Coming down the stretch, Tom Kite would not be able to get another birdie and would just remain at -8 for the tournament. As we said earlier, Ballesteros would bogey the 15th. He'd also add another bogey at the 17th and fall to 7 under. Greg Norman would actually tie Jack for the lead after he too birdied the 17th hole, but would send his approach to the 18th off to the right and then go on to make a bogey and fall back to -8 in a tie with Tom Kite. This, all in all, gave Jack Nicklaus his 6th green jacket at the age of 46. In summation, this was the greatest and most talked about Masters of all time. From Jack's reception, walking up to the 18th, probably one of the largest and loudest of all time, and then as stated, just the one-liners from Vern's "Yes Sir" on 17 to the previous "Yes Sir," actually said by Ben Wright after Jack drained the eagle putt on 15. The complete quote being, "Yes sir, the battle is joined. My goodness, there is life in the old bear yet." And my dad was almost in tears as he watched this all unfold live. Me and him watching it live in April 1986. All in all, folks, Jack Nicklaus to me will go down as the greatest golfer that has ever played, with Arnold Palmer coming in a close second behind that. And yes, I do realize I did not mention any of his wins in this series, but that being basically because I did not witness any of them, as he had won. I was not born yet when he won his last one in 1964. Maybe next year I will do this on the greatest Masters of all times and be able to include some of Arnie's wins in it. But to be honest, I still think that I would have to put this one in the 1986 win by Jack as being the greatest of all time. So it would be featured twice, but that's okay too. Jack would all in all end his pre-GA career with 18 major championship wins and 73 career wins on tour. The name of Jack Nicklaus will always be the first name that I think of when I think of the game of golf, and most certainly when I think of the Masters. As I had done and all the rest of them, I give you all a little Masters fact. And as you might have heard me in this one using the names of the holes, the fact that I want to do is on all golf courses, the holes at Augusta, as on all golf courses, the hole on Augusta are now numbered 1 through 18, but unlike other golf courses, each hole at Augusta is also named. And oftentimes it is just referred to by those names and not its corresponding number. They are named after a tree, shrub, or flower that can be seen on each hole. Those numbers, number 1 is tea olive, number 2 is pink dogwood, number 3 is flowering peach, number 4 is flowering crabapple, number 5 is magnolia, 6 is juniper, 7th hole is pampas, 8th is yellow jasmine, and the 9th is Carolina cherry. Swapping over to the second 9, the 10th hole is known as camellia. The start of Amen Corner at 11 is white dogwood. The 12th is the golden bell. The 13th is azalea. The 14th is known as Chinese fir. 15th is firethorn. 16 redbud. 17 nandina. And the 18th known as holly. So, there it is, folks. I hope you have enjoyed these 5 parts leading up to the 2026 Masters Tournament. I also hope you get to enjoy the coverage this year. And may your favorite golfer win this tournament. So until next time, hotty toddy, Rebel fans.